Today we are going to see the character development tier list for Violet Evergarden. And these are our categories, with the return to perfection being the most character development we have seen in a character. With no development, as the name implies, we haven't seen much. And here are our candidates. We have our protagonist, Violet Evergarden, Gilbert Bougainville, Cattleya, Claudia Hodgins, Benedict, Dietfried Bougainville, Iris, and Erica Brown. So we will start off with our protagonist, Violet. We see Violet grow from this emotionless tool to a human with great feelings and emotions. The anime is all about her, and we see how a character transforms from someone who doesn't know the word love to understanding and feeling it. So, of course, she has gone a long way. Though there are faults with her characters, we are not talking about those. So I'm going to rate her at the top here because we see such a great development in her character for sure. Next, we have our major, Gilbert. Gilbert is seen as this beacon of light for Violet throughout her journey. And though we don't see much of Gilbert in the seasons of Violet Evergarden, we know how instrumental he has been in Violet's journey. And through just his actions and his eyes speaks how much he begins to care and to what level of care he has for Violet. So I'm gonna put him at fairly acceptable. And then we have Cattleya. We don't see much of the past for Cattleya, but we do see what a great human being and what a great doll she is. And she could definitely be seen as someone who is able to understand and put people's emotions in letters, with very few words being spoken. And for that reason, we could put her in fairly acceptable category as well. Then we have Hodgins. Hodgins has seen as someone who, like any military colonels, sees Violet as a tool. But after the post-war, after Gilbert has given him the responsibility to taking care of Violet, we begins to see what a fatherly love and overprotective parent kind of a thing he has developed towards her. And this calls for him to have a good development. So I'm going to put him in the second tier list. Then we have Benedict. He is one of the other members who works at the CH Postal under Hodgins. Again, like Cattleya, we don't see much of character insight towards Benedict, but from the scenes we know that he's also a part of the army or he has some experience with it, and he does have very little screen time when compared to Cattleya. So as we don't see much about him, I'm gonna put him in could be better. I felt like his character was like very concerning and protective of Violet, like more like a brother. We could see how he begins to understand about her. So for that reason, I'm putting him there. And then we have the Major's brother, Dietfried, who started it all. He handed over Violet to his brother. And we see him how much he has despised Violet, and after seeing how much she's suffering and how much she misses his brother, he begins to have a change of heart. He begins to realize that she's no longer this tool who would just follow orders and destroy merciless people. And we see what a great character transformation he has, especially towards Violet. From his rude scenes to scenes of empathy, he is one character that I've admired throughout this anime. His character development has been phenomenal. And for that reason, we are going to have him at the top along with Violet. Then we have Iris. Iris is another doll. We do have a little insight and we do get to see a backstory for her, which I really loved. And we see how much she was heartbroken, how much she has begun to like Violet. From where she started off, she thought that Violet was unfit to this job, to where she was now, was such a great insight to her development. And for that reason, I'm going to put her under good development. And then we have Erica Brown. Though Herika Brown was one of the first dolls to provide her support to Violet to give her like a second chance, we don't get to see much of a character. And for that reason, I'm gonna put her along with, or maybe I would even rate her like not much development. So here is our tier list. We will just begin to sort them real quick and we should be done. Here is our finished tier list, and hope you enjoyed this tier list episode where we analyzed into the character development of one of the best animes ever, Violet Evergarden. See you in another episode in Let's Talk Anime.